All right, hello everybody. This is going to be an extra special cast today. This is going to be another free for all played on the new Big Gate Hunters map, which is was created by Rick Mary on the Discord, with a few augmentations made by our friend Thanks to allow you, when you resign, to remain in the game and watch the rest of the free for all as an observer. If you're interested and know someone with the alpha access and want to play this map, we can hook you up. Also, coming August 5th, there's going to be a new patch. It's going to be the full release of the game, at least the full release of the 1v1 and the campaign. I encourage everyone to check it out. If you have just been watching on my channel and don't have the game yet, please do go check it out. Purchase some campaign chapters if you want to continue to see this fun game. But let's get into this game. As I mentioned, this is an 8-person free-for-all, and the person we've been watching here with the really smart double shrine opening is myself, Algorithmor, in the pink. I found the pink faction and was able to get it. I was happy about that. In the red, also playing Infernal, this is the Frozen Death Knight. Up here circling around. Oh, where's your arc ship? There it is. This is Turlagh, also in the pink, choosing the right color. Also known as salmon, strong fish, very strong fish. This is Guillotine, playing Infernal, in the yellow-gray. The yellow-gray. Also Infernal, we all love Infernal in this match. This is Butter. And there's already some skirmishing going on between these two. Can you please wait until I'm done the introductions? Down here in the grayest of grays is Rusty Shacky, playing on his Steam Deck. And finally, not finally, sorry, there's more action going on here. This is Thanks. I see action on the map in the blue, playing Infernal and already trying to chop down on the front line of Frozen Death Knight. This is Frank Sriracha Jr. Okay, that was all 8 introductions. That took us a little longer. Like I said, we already got action going on here. That's the nature of a free-for-all, of course. Some folks are going to try and macro, while other folks are just going to try and get out on the map and murder someone. And that's because in a free-for-all, a good free-for-all, though this map not so much, in a good free-for-all, you need to kill someone to gain access to their income so that you can expand your income. But we are on Big Gate Hunters, and if you're unfamiliar with that is a reference to, there's old maps called Big Game Hunters where the mines don't run out, so you can just sit there and harvest as much as you like. Or at least they have a very long time before they run out. And it was meant for players who just like to, you know, do no rush 20 and build up a base, build up a lot of units, and have some kind of weird late game massive battle. And it was very popular for free-for-all matches for exactly that reason. And so this is the Stormgate version of it, again made by Rick Mary on the Discord. So we could try it out, and I'm excited that some of these classic maps with these classic style custom game edits are really attractive here. We got more action going on over here. Frozen Death Knight trying to engage Turlagh, who's made a very big turtle. This is again pretty standard free-for-all kind of style. I noticed that Butter and Guillotine were kind of just testing the waters with a few skirmishes here. And notice how they've both built these defensive walls right here, where they're, I guess, both of them kind of want to get out here to this one. Can Butter go any way other than through this? So they're both tied to this connection out to the main. Very interesting. Turlagh's kind of got his own way out to the main, but that's going to force these two factions to get into a kerfuffle quickly. Looks like I moved out from my base, and I'm moving in here to Frozen Death Knight. Remember, he was taking some damage from Frank earlier, who has recently pulled back. But my units at least were enough to push Frozen Death Knight back into his base, and I'm able to kill some of the static D here. And chase him back again. Meanwhile, we do have more skirmishing going on here between Butter and Guillotine as well. So it's a lot of infernal on infernal violence right now. Out comes a Magmadon to try and get in here. And, well, is that Magmadon going to do anything? It looks like it's getting focus fire down here. Gaunts out. 6 Gaunts are able to pump out there, probably with the Hellspawn Resurgence. But only 3 of them survive. Excuse me. My own reinforcements there are trailing in, which is pushing Frozen Death Knight back into his base. Looks like he's going to go down here. Maybe the first one to do so. Meanwhile, Butter has pushed out to this base here and is now moving in to the base of Guillotine, who has a nice kind of SimCity setup here, able to get some of his Hellborn and Gaunts really fighting from behind the front line and behind the defensive SimCity. But his Brutes are finding it a hard time. In fact, his Brutes seem to have been overcome by the Brutes of Butter, who is now in the back killing those Hellborn. We're getting a GG from Frozen Death Knight, having lost in the bottom right, or in the mid right. And now we're getting a GG from Guillotine as he's being destroyed also. Turlagh, however, I have moved my army up to fight against whoever was up next. And Turlagh has a nice Seraphim army here. He's doing the right thing, which is target firing down the Gaunts, while pretty much my front line was just deleted by his strike nodes there. We do end up getting the Purifier for our efforts, but that was a wasted army. And we see Guillotine, also going down. He said he thought Moron Shrine was the right answer. Little did he know. Ooh, my dragon popped out. Little did he know that Moron Shrine, double Moron Shrine, is what I'm working with down here. Frank, it looks like, has been... What's been going on over here? On the Terran front, the Vanguard front, we have a defensive matrix for Rusty Shacky. Now remember, he is playing on his Steam Deck, so he's got the most amazing control. But he's going for a drop over here, it looks like. He's going to fight off with Fang. Drop some Vulcans. Drop some more Vulcans. And just see if they can go to town on some tier 1 units, which is really what they're made for. So that's pretty good. Meanwhile, it looks like Frank was trying to punch into the front here. And Butter has pulled back. I think there may have been something in his base as well. Vulcan's here going for the production. But they're getting kind of focus fired down by this Atlas and the Hornet above. We get a stun and a jump jet out here. But we get good micro from Thanks. Microing his Atlases is one of the things that I know Thanks for, at least. Got really nice control on those evacs and Atlases. And he can really make your game a pain in the butt if you're up against him. So Rusty's drop here didn't seem to work. He's got a few more Hornets popping out. Butter's moved out, taken this front base. He's also taken the base of Guillotine. Looks like we are going to get some engagement here. I moved out to take this base. And now we have Dragons and Archangels. One of the most epic battles you can get in the game of Stormgate is 2 Archangels punching a Dragon. Spriggan's here to help out. A Meteor Strike right at the end to kill a bunch of Gaunts. Really nicely played. But Butter is also pushing into Turlagh's base. And Turlagh's forced to come back with the Seraphims and try and defend against a 2-front attack. Butter has pulled back for the moment, but he had already done the important damage, which means that my units here can start chipping away at Turlagh's front. At the same time, we have a battle going on down here from Frank and into Thank's base, and he's doing a really nice job. He's pulled in Hellborn, he's got Brutes here. The Atlases in the back are doing their best to defend, but we're seeing a few Exos here as well going down. But a lot of Frank's forces have been attacking these buildings, in particular this reinforced supply here. Is it a rampart? It is a rampart that had reinforced itself. Yes. And so it took a lot of tanking there from Frank's army, and he had to pull back. And wisely did with some of his Hellborn to keep them alive. My units here are under attack by Turlagh now. In fact, he's going to finish off this harass that he started earlier. But at what cost? As it looks like a giant ball of Hellborns are punching into his base. Luckily, they're on attack mode, so they're barely having any impact. Most of those units are in the back just walking around. Turlagh, I think, is retreating to what was Frozen Death Knight's main while he's harassing my main, actually getting a conclave. I don't think I even knew that happened. Now he's on top of my workers, killing Therium miners, doing a pretty good job there, actually, of stopping my Therium supply. Again, also, I didn't notice that happening because I was like, why don't I have any Therium and why do I only have 4 guys harvesting here? Well, that's your answer. I have a few Spriggans that chase off the Seraphim, who cannot hit air, of course, so they could not fight back. And they're flying over here into Thank's base. They flew right over Frank. What was that? Probably secret allies. Secret allies. I don't know what that was about. Maybe he didn't want to impact Frank there. Now, Turlagh has retreated over here. I've sent some Spriggans to attack into this. I've also sent my ground army. And this, I didn't notice that Turlagh's base had been conquered. Oh, cool little robot dude there, by the way. This is Butter's base now. Butter is on like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bases. 2 of those are the double bases that you get to start out with. Meaning he's on a great deal of bases. 3 technically if we count his own story. So the number of mines he's able to mine from here, he's starting to run into that StarCraft economy question, which is, well, how many workers do you actually commit because they cost supply, so that you can also... Frank resigned? Oh, what's going on, Frank? You must be getting attacked or something. Well, we did see Turlagh finally go down as Butter is moving out here looking for fresh blood. As I mentioned, he's got so much supply. He's basically maxed out. And he's now going to push into Rusty Shacky. Well, half his army got aggroed onto my army. And I'm fighting it down here while he's taking on the front line of Rusty, who has a nice air force plus some bio on the ground to back it up. And unfortunately, the Hellborns here are being caught by my army. And look at these ones, actually. They finally turned to fight. But they were caught on move command and in a sea of phantoms. Those phantoms are going to be taken down by the stompy stomps of the Magmadons. And I think my army here is finally going to be cleaned up. A few left to tell the tale of Butter the Mighty in the middle of the map. But that battle means that Rusty survived that little onslaught, even though it looks like... Ay, ay, ay. Oh, you don't like to see that. Helicarrier pokes fire down after getting aggroed. But there's this huge defensive battle going on between our 2 Terran buddies. Again, I apologize. Vanguard buddies. Huge battle happening here again. I'm wisely pulling back. The battle between these two is a little bit more a slow pace. Slow pushes going in both directions. Helicarriers versus Hornets. Hornets getting in on the action here. Nice bombing runs. Meanwhile, we're also getting the units of Frank. Now, Frank units are still mining, but I don't think Frank's still in the game. I think he called resign. So this might be Thanks trying to expand, basically killing some creeps here. And Rusty is just happy to sit there and play with his Air Force, because this is also a good strategy in big gate hunters, which is you've got these mines that aren't really, you're not forced to expand, and if you can maximize your units, which as a Vanguard player that's something you're trying to do, this is beneficial. I run in there and clean up some Atlases, taking a bunch of Atlas shots in the process. Frank's almost dead down here. Just has a couple buildings left. And it does look like Thanks has sort of moved into occupying that part of the map. So we're down to 4 real players here. I've kind of taken this bottom right corner here. Butter has got the whole top of the map and does have 300 supply. Is wiping out another little attack force of mine. I don't think I'm trading very efficiently into that. We've got Rusty over here with an air force of helicarriers behind a wall of black cannons. And then we got Thanks, who's playing a pretty signature Thanks style game, which is a nice mixture of a lot of units. I would expect some, oh, there we go, Sentinels to be added. I already see one there. So we'll see where Thanks goes with this. Although, again, he's facing off against the helicarriers here from Rusty. And Rusty's, his helicarrier numbers are getting bigger and bigger, and if he can keep them safe. Now the problem is he's facing some Atlas harass. I guess it's hard to call it harass when it's just melting your servos like that. And in come the Hornets, but also in come the defensive Hornets of Thanks. And yeah, I don't play Vanguard, so I don't know who really wins that like, how many Hornets do you need to fight the helicarriers? Here we have a giant Infernal on Infernal battle. There is a dragon above, at least above Butter's forces. I pull back wisely. Let's see, my supply is half of what Butter's is. There's no way I'm going to trade very well into that. Little bit of a stalemate going on, although Butter is proudly going for the center of the map. Oh, a bunch of sky mines being laid down here. And Atlas harass over here. Oh no. Oh yikes. That's what sky mines are for. That's why I shouldn't have done that. My dragon pulls in, but I don't know if the dragon really wants to go toe to toe. Yikes, yeah, he poofs away. There's the Sentinel over the Atlases. So this base kind of harassed away for me. Meanwhile, we have Butter trying to push in here as well. Each of us trying to just maintain our hold, whereas only Butter's the one brave enough to say, oh, I'm just going to push out. Now, Butter has max, as I mentioned. Butter's also on a huge bank here. 3,000 Ethereum and 15,000 in the Luminite. Now, I am fighting into this. I know I'm probably not going to win the overall battle, but I'm trying to trade some of his units. Notice how he's staying max, as he can easily just spend into this. Most of my forces are melted down here. A few of those higher price units went down, but he just remaxes up and actually works out not being very good for me, as he's going to push into this base here. Yeah, but at the same time, Rusty's starting to come out and poke. So is Thanks. Both of them trying to get a toehold in the center, and this is what free-for-alls are all for. I should have lost these bases, but apparently I am not, at least not right now. And I have my run of reinforcements coming in. And I think I'm going to pull back. Butter's going to pull back. Rusty and Thanks are still fighting over here because despite both of them kind of trying to push out in the center and maybe go for Butter's expansion here, which we're seeing now going down to Thanks, is they're kind of forced to engage each other, both of them with strong air forces too. Lots of Hornet on Hornet right now. Huge bombing runs going down there, but these nano defense bubbles do protect against bombing runs, which means taking 75% less damage from those attacks. A nice three-way skirmish going on here. Nice focus fire of the Magmadons for Butter here. Kill off a lot of my mags. The rest of my units chase away Thanks, but they get melted here, and it looks like Butter's going to finish what he started on the right side of the map and move into my secondary bases. Again, it's Big Gate Hunters. These bases are still up and mining. They will be mining, at least. Again, I'm not sure if they have some very high finite limit or if they're actually set to infinite, so they might run out at some point. But at that point, you might realize could be like in a month. I don't know what the number is, but at the rate of mining, it could be like a month. That's effectively infinite then. My small little forces here just trying to harass on the reinforcements there. Meanwhile, Thanks has been able to take this opportunity while the Infernals were skirmishing to push into Rusty's base. And it looks like get the upper hand as Rusty is only down on 2 helicarriers here. There must have been a big Air Force battle there. We saw the beginning of it at least. Butter continuing to expand. He knows the name of the game in free-for-all is expand, expand, expand. Take all the bases. Although it doesn't look like he's fully mining because he's made that choice to commit supply to army. And he also already has a huge bank. He really doesn't need more units. Or more bases for that reason. It's just to secure those bases. Maybe he gets pushed off his original main or something like that and wants to have bases up and using them as defensive in SimCity and zoning and map control. That's effectively what he's doing here. Another base going down here as well. And we're skirmishing here over this base. And I'm only taking 1 round of reinforcements and smashing them into this base while he's got his 300 army here. Thanks and Rusty are also continuing there. Actually, it looks like it might be over as Rusty does call resign. Now, I should mention that this resign code, I said, lets you become an observer. It makes all of your units become uncontrollable, and you get map hack. Basically, you get the full map revealed. So Rusty has bowed out here, leaving it to just 3 now. Myself, who is engaged in this sort of constant battle here with Butter. And wow, another nice little skirmish there as Butter wipes out my army, probably for the 15th time. While Thanks is looking for something to do, and he says, fine, I'm going to harass over here. And Butter's trying to push into my base. So this could be it for me here, as I'm basically taking it on 2 fronts here. All my reinforcements have been rushed up here just to melt. But Butter is actually retreating back here. I'm not certain. Oh, maybe because he's taking attacks here from Thanks. Whereas Thanks has... Oh, I'm coming in with a silly little drop. I think that's all the leftover units that I have. That didn't seem to be very effective. Although I did make some of these accident drop ships, so I'm going to try some silly drop play here. I think Butter's retreated back. Rusty's dead. Is that a drop as well? So we do have this action here. Thanks is going to come and drop some units over here. Lancers. Whereas I'm going to drop in some Imps. I'm feeling like my game's over. Forgetting I'm playing Big Gate Hunters. And you're never over in this game. So I drop some Imps in there. How are those Lancers doing? They're going to get cleaned up. The whole army of Butter is coming back to fight this. The Lancers are just trying to get Imp kills. Look at all those Shroud Stones over there. I love it, Butter. Good job. Good SimCity here. Thanks trying to get a foothold in the center of the map, but he's going to face Hellborns here. He's actually going to bring forward his army and then decide, oh, wait a second, that your whole 300 army is sitting there. Thanks himself is at 279 supply, 269 supply. So he's doing pretty well, at least until this battle started. Nice stasis drones here. Doing a good job, even though Butter's kind of getting the better of him here. He's doing a great job to defend. More stasis drones. Ooh, looks like he stasis droned his own helicarrier? Is that a mistake? I don't know what. Yeah, I think so. But he does push Butter back, which is good. But actually, Butter decides, nope, actually, the counter to air is Brute, Magmadon, Hellborn. Used to be Hellborn, but remember, they lost their ability to shoot their flaming basketballs into the sky. Their flaming basketballs only get shot on the ground and only at one single target. That's how Hellborn work now. No more splashy splash, no more hitting the air. But nonetheless, they are still a pretty good unit. As we are seeing, Butter is using them to sort of massing them up. As long as he's got a front line to protect them, he's been doing well. The thing is, as I said, they do not hit air. This army is good at hitting the ground, and that's what it's trying to do. But thanks his Air Force is able to just reign supreme above and murder. Of course, Fiendsplosion on some brutes mean a ton of fiends show up. Again, they can't jump either. So Butter tries to finish Thanks, or at least cripple him. But Thanks does a pretty good hold. And even though he lost a bunch of buildings and such, this is big Gate Hunters. He just needs to send a few servos over there. He already had some. They're already rebuilding, and very soon he's going to be back in it. He's also really good with his evacs. I wouldn't even be surprised if he just evacs a few workers over here. Butter deciding to go maybe for easier prey. No one's finished me off yet. I tried to finish myself off with some imp drops, but since then I realized, hey, maybe I should make some imps. So I rebuilt some imps. So Butter is trying to come in here and finish off Thanks' third or fourth base here. And he's doing a pretty good job this time. He re-maxed up, came down with some anti-air. He's got some Shadow Flyers. Wants to get on top of those Hornets, if he can. Or a Helicarrier, which he does get one. Spriggans come flying in. Spriggans, unfortunately, get torn to pieces by Hornets. Bombing runs on the ground units. And now Butter's like, I get it, I can't defeat your Air Force because Infernal doesn't have any air units. But what I do have is a big army that will take you a long time to destroy on the ground. And that's what he's doing. He's sending his units in here to just base race, kinda. There are Atlases back there that are doing a great job. And once again, his units get cleaned up. Now it's Spriggans flying in. Spriggans can be good, but like I said, they get torn to pieces by Hornets. So just by 0 costs almost. So they're torn up. Magmadon's over here, a little lost. But what's going on here? I made an army again. I guess I'm back in it. and I decided to go after Butter. I think I got a whiff that he was attacking Thanks. And I thought this might be the only time to get some damage. Look at that. 3 Magmadons popped out. Really nice. This is mostly reinforcements, but as well as what he's been able to bring back. Because most of his army got wiped fighting in Thanks, just in the Sim City and the defensive matrix setup down there. I'm trying to retreat back. All my units on move command here are getting eaten up. I run back home. I'm sorry I tried to attack you, Butter. I think I did clean up these bases for Butter. He did have some bases there. Meanwhile, Thanks is saying, oh, you took the gas pedal off me. I'm going to go into your main now. He wiped out that whole structure of Shroud Stones. He's got Atlases here killing workers. Doesn't look like there's any workers left. Butter's forced to come back and defend this Air Force. This might be the move for Thanks, which is putting the Air Force in the base of Butter, so Butter has to engage him there. What does Butter have to fight against this? He's sending his unit. He's got some Spriggans here, but remember how useless they are against the Hornets. And Butter is saying that anti-air is not good, and I was agreeing with him. As an Infernal player, I can tell you, that's not what we're good at. We are not good at killing things in the air. Things in the air are good at killing us, as this Hellborn is learning. Here come the Spriggans. They're like 17 versus 1. We did it. But the Hornets bravely just turn back, kill another Hellborn. Bombing rounds launched. And out I come again bravely. Try and put some pressure on Butter. I clear this base up. Butter's uncertain now. He was in a great position, but he's been taking a 2-pronged attack here. Here comes the Air Force of Thanks. Maybe, yeah, I think I remember that moment being like, I'm not trying to fight Thanks right now. I'm trying to fight Butter. And this is what happens when you get down to what I call the 3-for-all. When there's only 3 of you, there tends to be a little bit of, oh, you two are fighting? Well, then that's my opportunity to get the upper hand. But now that I'm fighting, someone else can get the upper hand, and there's a lot of back and forth. And I'm starting to kind of get back in this here. I've got some more bases going down. I'm at 182 supply. Butter's only at 206. Thanks is at 182. We're kind of neck and neck here. I didn't think that that's how this game was going at this point, I should mention. From my point of view, I'm like, I'm on my last breath here as Thanks is in here destroying my bases again with helicarriers. My dragon getting stasis drone here, but is able to fly away. And Butter finding units here, servos of Thanks, and no one's really finished off Rusty yet to take his base. And now what? All 3 of us are going to hit in the middle? No, we... see, I'm trying to get over to Thanks' side because he's great at abusing these rivers and such. But Butter helps me out. Butter says, fine, I'm going for Thanks. I'm doing a good job right now just tearing through Thanks. He does have, again, the best supply. Thanks units are good for harass and such, but you don't really want to be defending your base if you don't have a good, you know, SimCity front line to put your tanks behind and such. There's those tanks once again getting good damage. Oh, really nice damage there. But Butter wisely retreating back after killing that base, knowing that I'm still out here doing stuff. And actually, I didn't know that these Butter had been down here. And I'm like, I've been sitting in my base for a while. I don't really want to fight Butter, so maybe I'll go see what Thanks is up to. And I start pushing into Thanks' base here with my army. Thanks was just dealing with Butter. So he's the one taking the 2-prong now. Nice stasis drone on my dragon. Butter comes in the back here and does a wise free-for-all thing and says, oh, you guys fighting over there? It's like splitting your army, right? He's like, oh, I must have a free reign over here on Thanks' other base. And that's the kind of two-pronged attack that's hard to come back from. Although we are playing Big Day Hunters, let's not count thanks out just yet until the final exclamation point resign is typed. But these bases are definitely going down. I'm in full retreat because I didn't have the same kind of force that Butter did, and I was fighting into the defenses. Butter was just wiping bases. And now Butter is maxed. He is oversupplied both myself and Thanks combined. Almost called myself Algorithm in the third person, which I'm sure is not bad. I am casting a game. But here we go. Super stompy stomps. Poor Thanks here has just taken 1, 2, 3 punches in a row here as both the Infernal players have decided we're going to wipe this Vanguard scum off the map. And I don't blame us, because Vanguard are the worst. Have you guys met them? Terrible people. And so here we go, Vanguard. This is probably it for Thanks, although I love this. Thanks like, I'm not out yet. I got base. And Thanks has his evac. Oh, Shadow Flyers, I didn't see this before. Oh, wow. Shadow Flyers trying to get those evacs. The evacs have the tanks in them. Oh, no, no, oh! I think those, yeah, that was, they survived. That's all we need to know there. Double Dragon over here for me. Butter coming back to fight into this. I don't really want to fight his stuff. I know he's got higher tech units than me. I'm only on 173. Look at all those tramples. Whoa, run away. And I do run away for now, but he is right on top of my base. That is not looking great for me. Thanks has been taken down. I don't think he did the resign. He's happily taking over the base of Rusty Shacky right now. But Butter is happily destroying my base while I'm just trying to engage half his army. Our dragons are going to town, but I've lost my first dragon. I had 2 on the map. And I just don't have enough to deal with this huge tramples going through all my units there. All my gaunts just tore to pieces. And yeah, that's another dragon down for me. This is definitely going to be it. I don't think I can come back. Actually, once again, the free-for-all gods have granted me one more stay of execution. Or maybe not. Butter, I think Butter, it does, you know, whenever you're starting to wipe a base, you're like, is someone going to come and wipe mine in the back? And Thanks hadn't resigned, so Butter is like, wait a second. Maybe I should go finish Thanks off. So I'm not getting backstabbed. At this point, I think Butter has won the game. He wiped me down really hard. It's going to be hard for me to get back in this, although here I am pumping out some more units. But Thanks is effectively gone. Here are his drop ships being chased down. And I don't think Thanks is a player that's going to stop playing if he's got evacs with atlases in them. It's like, boom. Drops a nano swarm. Off he goes again. Now, are you going to win the game with this? Probably not. But I sent my forces over here. Come on, that's not fair play. So Thanks comes over here and says, fine, I'm going to wipe you, buddy. Again, free-for-all. Can't trust nobody in a free-for-all. I'm trying to kill off the last few buildings. He's almost gone from the game. I wonder if at that point he loses his evac control. Remember, this is a custom game. The Spriggans are defending against the Spriggans, are protecting the... And now, Butter finds my units and comes in and wipes them from behind. So my army is pretty much gone. I have a few Spriggans flying above here, but they're pretty much wiped as well. And this should be the end of Thanks for sure. I don't think he has a single building left. And Butter found the evacs. Evacs are going to go down too. I've got like 12 units here. But that is, as you can see, a GG. I hope you enjoyed this. The Big Gate Hunters game. Again, built by Rick Mary. Thank you, Rick Mary. Thanks for the cool observer logic. And if you love this, go check us out on the Discord. We'll load it up with you. We'll play another fun free-for-all. Thanks for watching.